Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. This episode we're going to be checking out a piece by the established multidisciplinary artist known as KLA. This episode we're going to be talking about visual rhythm, we're going to talk about conceptual design, and we're also going to talk about the dual nature of roses. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, we're met with two cherubs. We have a statue set in center here bound by a halo in a very large garden. The first impression is rather calm as there's not too much going on within the work at hand, right? The only visual energy we get is going to be from these neon lights, right? It certainly does catch the eye. And so when we see the placement, of course, they are placed in center. You're not going to miss them here. They also appear to be possessed by this kind of magenta light that also permeates throughout the rose garden all throughout as well. I think that's pretty important here. So the realm of color, we see this analogous color scheme. Of course, you have blue and purple, of course, magenta, purple-ish. And of course, you have a little bit of green, kind of a turquoise as well. Those are all very close to each other on the color wheel, so they are going to blend quite nicely, right, in an analogous color scheme. Which you'll also notice a bit of rarity of color. Of course, that kind of turquoise color appears to almost frame and draw our eye towards this region of the composition. So what we notice here, we have a range of diverse textures, right? We see very nice textures on the roses and then a much more kind of rigid texture on the statues. Kind of reflective, almost translucent in a way on there. I think that's incredibly important. All of these incredibly realistic textures really immerse us within the work at hand. It feels like we're just standing right here. It's absolutely stunning. Another thing you'll notice about this work is the idea of visual rhythm. And we see this most notably in the kind of pillars in the background, right? These are evenly placed, so there is this sense of kind of visual rhythm throughout the work at hand. It does feel quite balanced and orderly. Of course, we are standing kind of perfect center here. I think that's incredibly important to note. With that in mind, we see a near symmetrical spatial composition. Of course, not perfectly symmetrical. There is a bit of deviation, but we see, of course, it is very close to symmetry. The result of that, just like the kind of visual rhythm here, is very balanced, very harmonious, and very ordered as well. So that visual experience is going to be quite nice. And so the title of this piece is Quaintrelle, gives us an incredible insight into the work at hand, right? And the idea of that, kind of the definition of that, is going to be, a woman who prefers luxury and kind of showing a style of some way or another. And this is incredibly important because the original artist relates to this quite a bit, right? There is this sense of luxury within the work at hand. We see, of course, a brilliant rose garden. You see all of these pillars. To create something like this takes quite a bit of resources, right? So sense of luxury, a sense of status within the work at hand. We absolutely love to see the style here. What you'll notice is this is actually a rose garden. So we see all of these, really countless roses all throughout the composition here. And the rose is, traditionally it is used as kind of a feminine symbol. So we kind of see that in relation to our title as well. But the rose is, of course, absolutely amazing. One of the most common and popular symbols of the natural world. There's no doubt, romance, so many different things you could draw to there. And so what we see here, like our statues, they appear to be cherubs just kind of holding up this translucent orb. It's hard to say, why they're doing this, but they do appear to be bound by a halo. Of course, cherubs are a very ancient symbol. They are traditionally used as a kind of messenger or an agent of God, very close to the kind of highest realm of the metaphysical, right? So incredibly important here. And like I said, we do see them bound by a halo. So maybe they're working together to kind of elevate this orb here. It's hard to say exactly what's happening, but there's really no doubt that there's a bunch of symbols combined here, whether it's the cherubs, whether it's the roses, or even the pillars as well. There's a lot of historic influence within the work at hand, right? So, like I said, a very luxurious piece. It seems like they're kind of elevating the status of luxury to the highest, right? And the artist was talking about these kind of neon colors. There is this juxtaposition between kind of tech and nature in a way where we see, of course, the incredible neon lights, but we also see a bit of nature within this as well. And the artist was actually creating this as a kind of conceptual design of a rose garden that she hopes to visit one day. She believes that this should exist, and in my personal opinion, I believe that as well. It'd be absolutely stunning, be tranquil, and even divine to visit something like this. So with this in mind, what do y'all see when you view this piece? How do you feel when you view it, and how do you think those elements kind of play into that visual experience? Really important questions when we're looking at this work. And so, all the pieces to date that I've showcased from KLA have been AI generative works, but this one today is going to be a digital render. So this was created in the program known as Cinema 4D. So I did not know that she actually created some 3D art pieces as well, so I'd love to see a diverse range of mediums as well. So at this point, KLA is a multidisciplinary artist working with a wide variety of mediums. So really hope y'all enjoyed today. We talked about a bunch of different things. Talked about the roses, near symmetrical harmony, visual rhythm, texture, color, these ancient symbols of the rose, the cherub, so many different things we really hit on today. Truly hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, go check out the original artist KLA, doing some amazing stuff, like I said, in multiple multiple different mediums from 3D render all the way to AI generative art. So I truly hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, go check out the original artist. Absolutely love her work. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.